Hi, freshmen. We've talked a lot about religion in the 13 colonies on Tuesday and Wednesday. Today, we are going to talk about a time in history when those that were not religious became religious. This time in history is called the Great Awakening. Before we get started, let's review. Here are key ideas for today. What was the Great Awakening? What was its impact on colonial life? Our key terms are Great Awakening and George Whitefield. Here are our guided notes for today. In the 1730s and 1740s, the Great Awakening swept the English-speaking world. The Great Awakening was a revival or rebirth of the importance of religion in people's lives. In the colonies of North America, it was led at first by a minister named George Whitefield. He traveled from Maine to Georgia preaching sermons. Whitefield and the Great Awakening were not popular with all people. In the end, however, the Great Awakening contributed to a new sense of unity among all English colonists. The Great Awakening started with preachers such as George Whitefield. They brought a new message to the people. These preachers did not stress following the rules. Instead, they seemed to speak to each other and each person. They told each man and each woman to build his or her own relationship with God. The impact of this message was dramatic. For one thing, church services changed. Before the Great Awakening, meetings were mostly calm and quiet. But during and after the Great Awakening, some people shouted with joy or cried out in fear and shame during the service. At times, people were completely overcome with emotion. They became so exhausted that they could not return home. It was common for people to stay all night at the church. The Great Awakening changed more than just the church services, though. People who have never attended church became religious. Neighbors on the street talked openly about religion. Young people gave up on some bad habits that had once troubled religious leaders. Concern for the poor also increased. The Great Awakening had a major effect on colonial life. In fact, it helped change the course of American history. For one thing, the Great Awakening weakened the once powerful churches. Many colonists joined new churches. Groups such as the Baptists and the Methodists quickly grew. Over time, the Anglicans and the Puritans lost their special place in colonial life. The practice of making taxpayers support a church came to an end. Church and government separated. People enjoyed more options for worship. Religious freedom grew until the mid-1700s. For many colonists, the Great Awakening also changed some of their basic ways of thinking. At church, important religious leaders such as the governor had a special place. They would sit in the front rows. Africans sat in the back or even outside. The Great Awakening changed such practices. Many preachers began to recognize the religious needs of all people. The Great Awakening did not bring an end to slavery, but it did change the way people thought about their leaders. It taught that God loved the weak and poor just as much as the powerful. No group or class should enjoy special favor. Such teachings helped create an independent spirit. This spirit would grow over time. Within a few years, it would change the colony's relationship with Great Britain. You've heard a lot about the Great Awakening today. Take the notes from the video and create an image that will help you remember this information.